Hey, what's going on guys, it's Renzaru here, or Jake, and in this video I'm going to be going over what I believe is the top 5 best camping spots in Call of Duty Zombies. Real quick before we get into the video, I just want to let everyone know that this is my own opinion and it's based on my own experiences in game. You might have tried these out and it just didn't work for you, but for me these camping spots were pretty good. I'm also going to only include one spot per map, so for instance if Mob of the Dead was on the list, which, spoiler, it's not, I would only mention one camping spot, which I believe is the best instead of multiple ones, even if I do believe that those spots are better than some other ones on the list. It just gives the list a wider variety that you guys can go into game and check out for yourselves. But with all that aside, let's jump right into the number 5 spot. So guys, coming in at number 5 spot, you guys knew it was going to be on the list, I knew it was going to be on the list, is the catwalk on Doris. So to a lot of people, they probably think the catwalk on Doris should probably be higher on the list, but let me give you my reasoning to why it's only at the number 5 spot. Firstly, I'll admit it is a really good spot. It's also a really fun spot. You can just get a bunch of your friends to go sit up there and just spray down the zombies. This spot is iconic to zombies, and anyone who's going to camp there is going to get a massive nostalgia boner. But I do in fact have 2 problems with this camping spot. Number 1 is that there's no real escape when you're up there. If you do end up getting cornered, you're kinda screwed. And yes, I do know that there is the window, but the thing is that zombies constantly come through that area, so chances are you'll get stuck anyways. And my second issue isn't really with the spot, it's more with the wonder weapon that's on the map. The Wunderwaffe is definitely not a camping weapon, it's more of a training weapon. Unlike other maps that have wonder weapons that are really good for camping. Like, you can still use the Wunderwaffe, it's just not going to be as effective as if you were training. But other than those 2 things, you can literally do this camping strat on any version of Doris. I've said multiple times in videos that the Black Ops 3 version of it is absolutely broken. Just sit up there with an upgraded Drakon till like round 40. So in the end of the day, you're still going to get to a pretty decent round, it's just you're not going to get into like the 100 with it. So because of that, I'm going to have to put the Doris catwalk at the number 5 spot. So guys, coming in at a number 4 spot, this one might actually surprise you, but it's the Shadows of Evil waterfront gate camping strategy. I don't think there's a single person in this world that calls it that. Basically all this strategy is you keep the gate to waterfront closed, and then you keep the stairway to the right of that where you go up to get the perk closed as well. And then you just get yourself the Apothecon Servant and the upgraded sword, and you just sit there for 6 hours and you get around 100. Now obviously lads, I'm not blind, and I'll admit to you right now this spot is only really good because of the Apothecon Servant and the upgraded sword. If those 2 things weren't on the map, then this camping spot would be absolutely garbage. But those 2 things are on the map, so it's a pretty good spot. First thing I want to mention is that the spawns there are ridiculously fast. I'm pretty sure they come from 2 spots, maybe 3. One of the spots being literally to your left and the other one being a little bit ahead of you. So you'll just absolutely fly through round. You'll go even faster if you're using OP gobblegums like Power Vacuum. There's also a pretty solid escape if you do end up getting into a tight situation. To the left of the player there is actually going to be a beast mode that you can go and activate. So if you do need to use that, you can use it. However, this spot does have its flaws, that's why it's only at the number 4 spot. Let's get into it. Number 1. The Magua is a pain in the ass. The only way to kill him on high rounds is by using the Civil Protector. And guys, I'm not even joking, right? He literally spawns right up next to you. So you got like Neo Matrix dodge your way around the zombies down to the Civil Protector, throw a little Arnie and then activate it and hope to god that it kills him. There is also the fact that you can only use that beast mode spot once. So if you do ever need to use that like twice, you're kind of screwed. And lads, I won't lie, the spot is quite hard to survive in. You can kind of picture it as if it's a rhythm. It's always shoot the Apothecon Servant twice to get the sword upgraded, use the sword, then do that, and then use the sword again. And then if the Magua comes, you gotta run down, do the Several Protector, run back up, and then just repeat the cycle over and over again until you get to around 100. And if one thing goes wrong in that rhythm, you're kind of gonna die. Might I add, if you do end up dying in this spot, you're gonna really struggle to get out of it. Trust me, this is coming from someone who had to play the map for like 2 weeks straight to get around the 100 on it. But anyways guys, I'm talking way too long about a number 4 spot, so let's just jump right into the number 3 spot. So lads, coming in at number 3 spot, JohnnyJ, I'm doing you proud, it's the Die Rise Elevator Shaft strat. Again, similar to Shadows, it's only good because of the Sliquifier. Like lads, one shot can end the entire round if you get a good chain. How are you guys gonna tell me that's not OP? Also, can I just mention that the spawns in this strat are just stupid fast. I mean, this is the same strat that high rounders use to try and outrun their game just dying. So the strategy must be pretty quick. It's actually one of those strategies that you can get into pretty early on in the game as well. Thank you, bank system. It's also because you don't really have to rely on luck with the box to get the wonder weapon, or you don't have to go on some mad quest to get like 4 parts to build something ultimate. You just look around the bins for a little bit, find a bottle and stick it on some random crap, and there you go, you get a wonder weapon that kills up to around 100. Now there is actually one big problem with this spot that I can't overlook, and that one issue is that if you do end up falling down the elevator shaft, The only way to get back up is through the elevators, and they can be quite unreliable at times. So if you do fall down and there's no elevator there waiting at the bottom of you, you're probably going to get a game over. But if you can manage to stay up there, it's a really good spot due to the fast spawns and the OP wonder weapon. So because of that, it just has to come in number 3 spot. So lads, coming in at number 2 spot, this one actually will surprise you. But as I said at the start of this list, it's from personal experience, and that's going to have to be sitting in the Origins Fire Staff tunnel with the Ice Staff. So guys, here's some trivia for the hit, upcoming brand new zombie channel Renzaru. This map was actually the first map I got around 100 on. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was 2 AM and I was sitting in Discord call with Tom, and we were just having an absolute boogie while watching me get to around 100 on Origins. And now can I real quickly say, if I'm getting to around 100 on Origins, anyone can do it. I think that alone proves this spot's worth at the number 2 spot, but let me get into more reasons to why it's pretty good. The zombies can only come from 2 spots, means the spawns for the zombies are fast. You're also right next to a portal that leads into the crazy place, so you could have really easy escape through there. I think this spot really does shine on Black Ops 3 over Black Ops 2, mainly because of gobblegums. Ammo can become an issue when doing this strat, so having gobblegums like cashback or alchemical, they're really gonna help. I do actually only have one issue with this spot, and to be honest, you probably already figured it, it's to do with the Panzer. Now my boy the Panzer, he just runs on down and you don't even see him coming. So like if you haven't got a charged Ice Staff shot ready, just say bye bye to your game because you're gonna probably die. That's unless you're playing with like max audio and you can just hear whenever he spawns in from like a mile away. I actually do think this is a spot that you guys should all try out at some point in your own. Just get the upgraded Ice Staff, get like the STG with turned on it, and just go sit in the Fire Staff tunnel. You will instantly see how fast the spawns are, and you can just sit there for like 6 hours and get around 100 easy. And now I'm not going to sit there and say you can get this around 100 first try. When I did my high round attempt on this map, it took me maybe 3 or 4 tries, but that's mainly because I suck ass at zombies. But you gotta realize those first couple tries is you getting used to the spot, so over time you will get better at doing it. So because of the fact that this spot is so good that even I can get around 100 on it, it has to come in at a number 2 spot. And now we do actually have one honorable mention. This spot is going to have to be the Knacked Grenade spot. Now in my opinion, I wouldn't even say it is a spot to get you to a high round. I think it's a spot that you should try out strictly because it's a challenge. Knacked on its own is a pretty difficult map, so sitting in a corner with unpack-a-punch guns and a thunder gun, which is mainly used for training, you're gonna have a pretty rough time. There's also the fact that if you get overrun, there's absolutely no escape. Just accept your fate right there and then. You're kind of just a goner at that point. However, this spot is iconic to zombies, lads, and it's just a good campfest with some of your buds. So guys, as I said, this spot isn't really used to get to around 100 on Nectar and Totem. However, I'm putting it on the list because I think it's a pretty good challenge that everyone should at least try out once. But moving away from the honorable mention, let's get on to the number 1 spot. Okay lads, so coming in at number 1 spot, it doesn't need no introduction, it's the Juggernaut Buried camping strat. Alright, no explanation needed, video's over. Alright, let's end it right now. Wait, you guys still here? Alright, fine. I guess I'll explain the Juggernaut Buried strat. In short, it's just a long hallway where zombies will only come from one spot. And now for some reason you haven't played the revolutionary map that's buried. For the first 70 rounds, it just comes down to the paralyzer. Honestly, it doesn't even have to be this spot. You can just set anywhere with the paralyzer and get to round 70. But this spot is key for what's going to happen after round 70. So after round 70, the paralyzer just stops killing, so you have to resort to buildables. One of those buildables is the subsurface resonator. It's so OP, you don't even have to shoot, you can just sit there and not do anything, and there you go. And it really shines in this one spot, because again, it's just a long hallway. By the time the zombies reach you, it's already recharged and ready to shoot again. This spot also gives you a pretty good escape. If you look up, you can just kind of fly up there with the paralyzer and you're away from the zombies instantly. This strategy in camping area kind of reminds me about what I said with shadows and how it's a rhythm. And if one thing goes wrong in that rhythm, you might risk a game over. So in that sense, it can actually be kind of challenging. That goes to all my people who say that Buried is the easiest zombie map of all time, even though it really isn't. If you also haven't tried this spot out in co-op, it's actually really fun. I did this strat in the last video with some friends, and at one point we didn't even have Jug and we were still living. We had to actually suicide because that's how good the spot is. But yeah, I think that's all the reasons to why the Juggernaut Buried spot comes in at number 1 spot. So guys, that's going to be it for my top 5 camping spots in Call of Duty Zombies. If you guys do have any recommendations for what you guys want to see in a top 5, please let me know in the comments. So guys, I'm thinking that from now on, top 5s will be every week instead of every other video. I do want to branch out with other types of zombie content. Mainly it's going to be customs or other solo type of content. So again, if you guys have any recommendations on custom maps or any solo stuff you guys want me to do, please leave it in the comments. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Peace.